Hi everyone. Hi everyone. Welcome to the first section of Android Study Jam. I I am Ashutosh Agrawal, uh, Android Android developer expert and Android facilitator for our DSC JIIT-128. And along with me, we have uh, one of the most loving and caring mentor of our DSC, Rohan sir. He has a concrete experience of Android development, and we definitely gonna learn a lot from him. These sessions are interactive sessions, so I want everyone to be responsive in chats. Uh, First of all, I want all of you to answer these questions. Are you excited? What's your expectation from the course? Please, everyone, I'm waiting for your response. Yeah, I'm just reading your response over my on my mobile phone to my left. Yeah, hi. Yeah, quickly, everyone. Are you excited? Write something. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for the response. So let's move ahead. So what are the learning objectives of this session? In this session, we're gonna learn about the basics of a Kotlin programming language. We have an introduction to Android Studio. We also gonna build our first and very easy Android application, and we also discover resources to continue our learning for the project. What are the prerequisites of this course? So you just need a computer with internet connection. Having Android Studio installed is highly recommended, but it's optional. You can also install it after this course. uh, Talking about having an Android device and a USB cable is optional, but it's important to have that too. We also see how to run and test our application using emulator, a virtual Android device. Yeah, talking about the today's schedule, we have two parts. First part is taken by me, and the second part is taken by Rohan sir. He is currently backstage, so you will meet him soon. And in the first part, we have to look at the introduction to the course, what course comprises of, and what you gain in by completing this course, and also learn about the basics of Kotlin language and Kotlin Koans. After completing the part one, we have a Q&A session where you can ask any question, and we are here to answer your doubts. And in the second part, we have a look at the Android Studio, uh, set up an emulator, and also build a first a basic Android app using basic layouts. And after that, we have a question answer round where you can ask any question and related to Android or any other related to mobile development by Rohan sir. Yeah. So without wasting any time, everyone just visit this link. This is our Android Study Jam link. So, and also please, Abhinav, display the link, and everyone please just quickly go visit this link. Yeah. Yeah. Once you visit this link, please write visited or something in the chat so I know you have all opened this link. Yeah. This link is g.co/Android/study jams. Yeah. So let's start. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Uh, as you open this link, you have to sign in to get your first batch. Okay. Have you all got your batches? Please respond in the chat. Okay. Great response. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we expect these kind of your contributions throughout the course. So they are basically two tracks: new to programming track and prior programming experience track. We are covering both of the tracks in our course, so stay tuned for all the sessions. uh, every course has every track has in units, uh, and every unit has few pathways. uh, Here you can see in the unit one, we have four pathways, and each you must be wondering what is a pathway. A pathway is a collection of videos, code labs, and quizzes that you need to complete in order to complete this course. So after each pathway, there is a quiz. These quizzes can be taken multiple times. So if you miss out some questions, you can again retry this quiz. And on once you complete this quiz, you earn batches, and these batches are really great. You can add all the batches that you earn are added to your Google developer profile, and these can be used to showcase in your LinkedIn or any social media profile. So it's very amazing to have such batches around your decks. And after getting all the batches, you get a certificate by a DSC. This is how our certificate looks like. So, yeah, moving ahead. Without wasting our time, let's start our new to programming track. This is our new to programming track, and in this we are covering today itself. We are covering three pathways, first three pathways in this session, and let's get started. So, yeah. So, what's your first favorite programming language? I want to know your favorite programming language. If you don't have any prior programming experience, don't worry, it's okay. But if you have any prior programming experience, so write in the chats what's your favorite programming language. Let's see. Yeah, I'm waiting for your response. So quickly, guys. Okay, okay. Someone is saying C++. Ritik is saying Java. Okay. I want more response. Okay. Now it's coming. C++, C++. Okay. So in this program, we are using Kotlin programming language, which is the official programming language by Google for developing Android applications. So yeah, so Kotlin is a modern programming language which helps developers be more productive. It is the official programming language for Android development by Google in 2017. And yeah, so what are the benefits of Kotlin? Kotlin is concise. What do you mean by concise? Kotlin avoids writing any unnecessary codes that most of the language does. Like Java, we have to write a lot of code for doing a small task. Just like taking example, in Java we have system.out.print. We have to write these three words in order to print a single statement. While in Kotlin, we just need to write println, nothing else needed. So that's the uh, length of the code is being reduced in Kotlin. And the second benefit is safer code. What do you mean by safer code? Kotlin prevents many type of errors which happens in different programming languages. You must have heard about null pointer exception. So it's a very common error which comes in Java whenever we are using a variable which is not being initialized initially. So that is being prevented in Kotlin very well. And the third and the very most important benefit of Kotlin is interoperable with Java. If let's say if we have an app which is written in Java, and if we want to uh, add add more functionality to the code, what we have to do? We have to just write these all the codes in Kotlin, then we can add that functionality. No, it is not. We can write any Kotlin code in a Java file and run it as smooth as it is written in Java, or even we can write any Java file in Kotlin or Kotlin file in Java. So it's interoperability, which makes it very convenient for the Android developers to write codes in Java as well as Kotlin simultaneously. So, fun fact: Kotlin is the fourth most loving programming language according to the Stack Overflow survey. Yeah. So in this program, we are using Kotlin programming language to write our Android applications, and yeah. So you must be wondering, should we have to download any IDE or compiler to run our Kotlin code? No, not exactly. Just go to this link, play.kotlinlang.org, and you can write your Kotlin code uh, in your browser itself without installing any software. So everyone, I want everyone to visit this link so we can play around with Kotlin. Yeah. So yeah, Abhinav also add this link in the chat box. Yeah. You must be wondering why I'm saying Abhinav. Abhinav is the DSC leader of a chapter, and he's also with us backstage. Yeah, quickly, everyone. Once you visit this link, please respond in the chat box also. Okay, moving ahead. Uh, yeah, everyone, please tell me what you expect that this code does. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'm waiting. If you don't know, just make a guess. I know many are there. Many don't know any part of coding, so don't worry about that. Just make a guess what this code will do. Okay, okay. Many are saying print hello world. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, you are right. This code prints hello world. Okay. So let's move ahead. Yeah. So what you notice about this code? Yeah. Tell me something that you observe with this code. Like what is this main? What is function? What is hello doing? What is print doing? Anything? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Waiting for your responses. Any observation that you can make? Okay. Okay. Great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, let me tell more about this. uh, this fun is a keyword which is used to declare a function. Main is the name of the function, and we declare function using parentheses, opening and closing parentheses. We have we this whole is a body of this function, and println is used to print anything written inside it. Like here we are printing hello world. And no, one important thing that you must notice that there is no semicolon after any statement. uh, just like Python, Kotlin doesn't mandate the use of a semicolon after each statement. You can use it, but it's optional. You can avoid it too. Yeah. So moving ahead, let's write some code too. Okay. Yeah. So who's gonna tell what this program gonna print out? Yeah. Yeah. Waiting for your responses. Okay. 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 Someone is saying hello world. Uh, You must be forgot this Happy New Year thing. Okay, okay, okay. Great, 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 great. Thanks, 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 thanks for responding. Let's run this code and then see what's actually gonna happen. So as you see that we have written print without ln, so it means that it will print hello without changing the line. So it's printing right here hello without changing the line. And when we when we write a statement print ln, it prints the word hello word and then change the line like this. It's printing the word and then changing the line. And again we are printing happy new year. So it's printing happy new year. Okay, so that's all about print statements. That's very important because we always need to check our output what's coming. So that's it. And now let's move ahead. Yeah. So there are basically two variables. Variable is a container which holds some value. Two kinds of variables are there: mutable variable and immutable variable. What we mean by mutable and immutable variables? Mutable variables are those variables whose value can be changed throughout the course of the program, while immutable variables are those whose values can't be changed. If you initially initialized those variables, they can't be changed. You can compare it with constants. Like constants, we can't change the value of any constant. Okay, so let's write the code. Yeah. So yeah, there are two types of variables. And one thing I forgot to mention that mutable variables are initialized with keyword var, and immutable variables are initialized with val. Okay. Uh, yeah. So let's see. In this code, we have written a var, a var which is a mutable variable, whose values can be changed. And in this, I'm just changing the value from 5 to 6, and then printing mutable variable. Okay. Let's comment this rest of the code for now. Yeah. So I'm just printing mutable variable. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, it's showing 6. So initially it was 5. Let's print 5 also. Yeah, as you can see, it's initially printing 5 and then it's 6. So it's that variable which can change their value throughout the course. And now let's see the variable which can't be changed throughout the course, which is val. Yeah. So val, initially I declared val immutable variable. Name of the variable is immutable variable here, and it is of int type. We will discuss data types later in the course, and it is having 5 value. Oh, let's see if we change the value of immutable variable with 6. Yeah, we get an error which says val cannot be reinitialized. It simply says that we cannot change the value of immutable variables. Yeah, so let's comment this thing. Yeah, and one more thing I want to talk about, that if we want to print any variable inside print string like this, so we can use a dollar sign to print any variable inside our string like this. We are just using a dollar sign and writing the name of the variable after that, and the compiler automatically takes this whole as the value of this variable. Okay, so run this thing. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting this is our immutable variable value, and the value we are getting is 5, which is this value. Okay. um, okay, let's see some comments. Okay, okay. Yeah. So moving ahead, we have a different type of data types in Kotlin, like byte, short, int, long. These all stores integers, while we have float and double, which stores decimal values, value numbers which has decimals. And uh, the difference between these all byte, short, int, long is of the size. Byte is very short, of very small size, like 128 numbers only. And similarly, int. Most of the times we use int because it fulfills our need in most of the cases. But in some cases, we need very large values like 2 raised to the power 31 value. So we use long data type. Yeah. So talking about decibel values, we have two, float and double. Most of the times we use float, double, but if we specifically need a very short values, we can use float too. And we have char. Char is a single character enclosed in single quotes. Just like I have written you is as a character. And we also have a boolean type. Boolean type stores true or either false. And lastly, we have a string type, which stores collection of or a sequence of characters enclosed in double quotes, you know, like this. Yeah. One important thing I want to talk about, that here these types is optional. We can mention it or we can't mention it. It's optional. Like if we just remove this, Kotlin automatically considers this variable as an Boolean type. If we mention it, there is no problem. But if we don't, it again no problem occurs. Yeah. So talking about, let's proceed. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Ki if we mention the data type, it's okay. If we don't mention it, it's also fine. Yeah. So talking about the conditions, conditions are very important in any programming language. We always want to make something to occur when this condition is being fulfilled. Like in this case, if the score is under 20, then we need to print then we need to print low. And else if this score is greater than 20 but less than 70, then we have to print this statement. And otherwise we have to print high. These things are very important in any programming language because we often need to make decisions based on some condition. And yeah, we also have other type of conditions. When condition, in this when, we it's just similar to switch and switch case, like in C language or Java language, if you know them. uh, in when, we are we are comparing this variable value x with these constants like 0, 1, 2. We are comparing with these. If x is equal to 0, then we execute these statements written after this arrow, like here, end the game. And if the value of x is 1, we execute move next. And if the value of x is equal to, exactly equal to, remember, exactly equal to 2, then we execute skip turn. And if x is not either nor 0 nor 1 nor 2, then we execute a quit game. Okay, so let's run it in our IDE. Yeah. Yeah, as you see that yeah, this okay. Yeah. So in this program, we are finding the maximum value of a maximum value between these two variables, like a and b. A is 5 and b is 2. So if a is greater than b, the max value is equal to a, else max value is equal to b. Yeah. So Kotlin also supports converting if-else into an expression like this. We can minimize this amount of code into just a single line of code like this, which says max value is equals. If A is greater than B, then max value is equal to A. Otherwise, it will be B. Okay, and we are simply printing the max value. Let's run this. Yeah, as you see, we are getting 5, which is the maximum of these two, that is A. We are getting A's value, which is 5. Okay, so let's see the when case. When is very important, because in this we can see that if x is equal to 1, so x it's comparing x with these values 1, 2, and else. And if as we can see that x is equal to 1, so it gonna print x is equal to 1, as you can see in the bottom. Yeah, and if let's change this value to 4, which is not present here, so it's gonna implement this else case. Yeah, so x is neither 1 nor 2, which is written here. Yeah, and one more thing, x block is very important in when without else block, the you get an error. Sorry, uh, yeah, without else block you get an error. You can't execute this code. Okay, so yeah, you can see there is no output. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, yeah, so now let's talk about the functions. Functions are used to compartmentalize the code. Like we want to divide our code into subsections, so that we can use these codes multiple times, and we don't mess up with our code. Like most of the times we have a code of more than 200 lines, so we don't want to just mess with the code. So functions are used, and functions have two things: parameters and a return type. Let's talk about them. So in as we already talked, the function is declared with a keyword called func, and add is the function name, and anything written inside this parenthesis are known as the parameters. And here a and b are two parameters which both have a int type, and the function this function is returning a value which is int type. Like a and b both are of int, we are adding both, and we are returning this value a and b. Okay, what if we don't want to return any value? So we can use unit, as in most of the language uses void when there is no return type. And obviously this unit is optional. You can use it or you don't use it. It's all up to you. Yeah. Now let's talk about the collections in Kotlin. Here I'm talking about only one collection, list, and there are many other collections too, which are little trickier. But you most of the times use list only, and there are two types of list: mutable and immutable list. And let's code it. Okay, list. Yeah. So basically there are two types of lists. Immutable lists. Immutable lists are those which once initialized cannot be changed. Like we can't add any element to the list. And yeah, what is basically a list? List is a collection of similar data type elements. Uh, at many times we need more than one variables. Like sometimes we need thousands of variables, so we can't declare all the variables with name val. So it's gonna be very complicated, and it's not be practically possible to do that. So we use list in this case. And yeah, list is initialized with a function called a list of, and then including all the elements which we want to include in the list. And for printing the list, we can use for loop. And in this for loop, we are using I as an iterator, which is iterating to all the elements of the list. And I in list immutable. This is the name of the our list, and we are printing just I. I with a dollar sign means the value of I. Value of I is the value of every element in this list. Okay, so let's run this first. Comment this out. Yeah. So now run this. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting 1, 2, 3. Okay, you are getting 1, 2, 3. So these are the elements which are being printed like this. Okay, yeah. Talking about, we are saying that it is an immutable list. So what if we change the value? We want to add more elements to this list. Okay, there is a method called add, but we can't add in the immutable list, because immutable is, as I already tell, that these can't be modified. So we can't add to more elements to this list. So what if we want to add more elements? So is there any way? Yeah, definitely. Uh, we gonna use we gonna use mutable list for that. So this is a mutable list. Mutable lists are declared using mutable list of function, and adding the elements to the end of this. These are optional. If you don't want to add the elements initially, you can opt out of it. And in this, you can easily write add, and then specify the index at which you want to add the element. And if you want to add the element to uh, the last of the mutable list, you can also add like this. Like I want to add 3 at the last of the mutable list. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, we are getting, we have added 2 at the zeroth index. So we are getting this, and then we are getting 4, 5, 6, and then at the last we have added 3. So we are getting 3. Okay. Note one point that in any list or in any container, we are following zero as the initial start index, and the last index will be uh, the size of the list minus 1. And we can also find the uh, size of the list like this, dot size. Okay, size. Yeah, let's run this. Yeah, you can see. Okay, okay, what's the problem? Okay, okay, immutable, sorry, immutable. Okay, print, yeah, ठीक है. Okay, so we are getting a size of 5, which is the size. 3 elements we have added like this, one element like this, and one element like this. So we are getting 5. Previously, we are getting 3, because that is the size of the immutable elements. Yeah. So let's move ahead. Yeah. So last but not the least, we have classes. For declaring a class, we uses a class keyword, following with the name of the class, and the global variables inside that class. with their data type, and everything is important. Uh, Otherwise, it will be a syntax error. And yeah, class is just like a blueprint of a building, and instances, or you can say objects, are the actual building. You can say blueprint can be a demo for using the product. Okay, so yeah, now let's move ahead. Yeah. Okay. So everyone, just I want everyone to open this link. Please add the link in the chats. This is a place where you can revise what you have learned. Like you want to practice how much skills that you have gained during the course, or what you know about Kotlin and what you don't know about Kotlin. There's a lot more that I have told, but you will learn it very soon. Yeah. So in this course, we are completing these three categories of Kotlin codes. So let's first everyone open this link. Yeah. Let's wait for everyone to open. Yeah. So yeah, once you open, please mention in the chat so that I can move ahead. Okay. You must be wondering why I'm seeing all towards the left, because I am having my phone and I'm reading your chats over there. Okay, okay. So let's move ahead. Yeah, everyone have done. Okay, okay. Great response. Thanks everyone. So let's move ahead. So we are having three categories. These all three categories we have to solve in this course, and rest are optional. You can try. If you don't, it's not must. Okay. So in this Kotlin course, we have some assignment. Like let's me take you to this page. Okay. 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 Yeah. uh, so we are at the Kotlin Koans. Let's start. Yeah, here you can see there is a question, and an option of written to do. Here we have to remove this to do, and we have to write our code which fits this description. Like in this example, we have to uh, print okay, and so we are just writing okay. And if we don't know the answer, we can also check the answer by clicking on this button. We already know, so let's run the code. And yeah, test case passed, and we can move ahead to the next code. And if we don't know the answer, we can just click it and see the answer. It says we have to write okay. So once you gain the skills, then only try this Kotlin Koans. It's super fun to learn more things using this. Yeah. So you can try it out afterwards. Yeah. So moving ahead. Okay. So yeah, so we have done our first part. So let's have any questions that you have right now, so you can ask me in the chat box. So yeah, I'm waiting for your questions. Okay. Yeah. Abhay is asking, will we get batches or certificates after completing? Yeah. You definitely get batches and certificates after completing whole course, and you have to do some steps to complete to avail for the batch and the certificate. And these includes you have to submit you have to submit a screenshot of your Google developer profile along with your name and the batches, and you have also have to share a screenshot of your application that you make during these courses. Yeah. Other question: what IDE you are using? Okay. I'm using IntelliJ IDEA. Let me take you to the page. Sorry. Yeah. So this is the, let's open. Okay. I think some problem right now. Okay. I'm using IntelliJ IDEA. Let's see. Yeah. I'm using this IDE, so you can also install this, or you can also use the Kotlin playground to run the Kotlin codes. It's very seamless experience you will face. Yeah. Next question. Okay. Okay. What would sort of error if they are using sample? No. Hardik is asking. Sorry, Ritik is asking. Is there any error if we use the semicolon at the end of the line? No, there will be no error if you use, or if you don't use. There will be no error. Yeah, it's uh, it's the main thing that you don't use it because uh, this is how Kotlin is being written. So don't use it. Avoid it most of the times. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Any other question you want me to answer? So, or we will proceed to the next part. Best resource to learn and practice Kotlin. Uh, yeah. Yeah. Abhinav, please add the link. Learn with examples. Uh, yeah, learn Kotlin with examples link in the chat box so that everyone can learn Kotlin with ease. Yeah. Let me open that also. Yeah. Uh, Yeah, this is the website made by Kotlin, Kotlin's company, that is JetBrains, and here you can learn everything about Kotlin, starting from Hello World program with many examples. Like here, there are tons of examples available, so you can learn every basic to basic aspects with an example. So definitely go check this website. So if you want to know more about Kotlin, although all the things that I have covered till now are more or less sufficient for today's session, and most probably to the next session also, but you need to visit this website in order to gain full experience of Kotlin language. Yeah, as you can see, there is examples for everything. Yeah. Moving ahead to next question. Yeah. So I think all questions are over, I think so. So should we move to the next part, or you all are asking me some more questions? Yeah. Is there need to purchase Coding Ninja Kotlin course? Oh, no. I highly recommend don't pay any money for purchasing any course related to Kotlin, because I think this website is so self-explanatory that you don't need to invest any money learning Kotlin. It's very easy. You just have to read these resources. Although if you want to learn using video lectures, you can refer there are tons of videos on YouTube which are free, and you can learn from them too. Yeah. When will we get batches and certificate? Yeah. Talking about getting batches and certificate, batches, you, as soon as you complete a quiz, you get a badge. But talking about the certificate, you will get at the end of the course. Okay. Can we do machine learning to Android? Yeah, you can use machine learning uh, to not to build Android applications, but you can use machine learning in Android to enhance or to develop more more type of featured products. Yeah, but you are not using machine learning to develop Android applications, obviously. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I have taken your question. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it for the first part. And now we okay. Now we request our Rohan sir to continue with the second part. Over to you, Rohan sir. Uh, yeah, Abhinav, please.
Yeah. Uh, Thank you, Ashutosh. And it was a great explanation regarding all the Kotlin and the stuffs which relates to Android, right? So you all guys must be wondering that, okay, so we are going to learn Android development in this particular session, and we are still juggling into programming languages and these all things, right? So this was the kind of intro. Obviously, if we are not aware of the language and how to use those basic concepts, we cannot proceed, right? So, hi, my name is Rohan, and I am into Android development from last around 2.5 years, and I am having 1.5 years of industrial experience as well as a Android development intern, a software development engineer. Right now, I'm having the position of mobility engineer. So, I was looking into all the comments, and there were few mischievous elements as well. But apart from that, what I found that you guys are actually performing the steps, and you guys are actually aware of all the things, right? And I have been seeing the comments from Amisha, Chitej, Hers, Harshit. These all are actually doing things and many more, right? So from here onwards, we will understand about Android Studio, we'll understand about basic layouts and many more things, right? So let me quickly share my screen. I hope you guys are okay. Abhinav, you can share it. Yeah, awesome. So uh, let's start with Android Studio. Okay, now what is Android Studio and why it is required and how we are going to use it? Let me quickly give you a demonstration. Okay, so this is, don't get scary from these like as of now code and all, don't worry at all. Okay, I'm just giving you a glimpse that how this all things work. Okay, so Android Studio is obviously used to develop Android applications, and we can implement the designing, we can implement the logic behind any code, we can handle all the strings and colors, and there are a number of things. Let's first have a basic intro of some most or must have files which we have in Android, like the manifest file. So we can consider manifest file as the root of everything. Obviously, what will be the logo of application, what will be the name, and how are we going to use it, what all functionalities are required, these all things we declare, what all kind of screens and methods we are using, services we are using, we declare these all things in Android manifest file. Okay, and similarly we have the strings file where we store all the information regarding the strings which we use throughout the application. Similarly, just have a overview that how these all things are. Don't worry about all the codes written inside it, don't worry at all. Okay, now the build.gradle file, these files are used to manage all the versions and what all libraries we use. Like, let's suppose we have to implement date picker, right? There is one option that we should implement all the code, all the design for date pickers as well. right? And the other option is if we are practically implementing things, if we are implementing things for any organization or institution, at that time we don't have that much time to create our own library to just pick a date. We just get some third party libraries and we use them. So to implement those, to add those libraries, we use Gradle file. As you can see here, Firebase and all are mentioned. Now, similarly, the colors file, we will discuss this in detail as well. I will discuss this main activity file and the layout file as well. Okay. Now, apart from this, this was the intro of files and all, how they are actually in Android Studio. But there are some kind of tools which we can use. Let's suppose, take the example of these buttons. Why are these buttons here? Right. Now, if we talk about this hammer sort of thing, it is used to make a project. Now, what is kind of making a project? Right. It's like we implemented the code, we created the manifest file, we had done all the stuffs and all. Now, obviously, we have to build it. Right. By building, I mean we have to compile all the files, we have to compile all the things and actually create a project. Right. So for that, this build file is used. Now, there are other sort of things as well. Let me give you an example of this Pixel 4 API 29. You must be saying this. So this is called emulator. Like you must have heard this term from Ashutosh during the explanation, the initial explanations. Now I will tell you what is actually an emulator, right? So let me just show you the emulator first. So this is emulator, Android emulator. So whenever we implement something, obviously we need to test it. There is one option. We can have our mobile phone, we can have the data cable, we can attach it and we can do it. Yes, that's one option available. But what if we don't have that much time, or we might not have the mobile phone with us? And that's obviously not that much uh, easy when it comes to if we can directly access the mobile phone in the device itself, the laptop itself of the or the computer itself. Now, so emulator is nothing but the cloned version of mobile devices. We can have any version of Android, like we have Android Pie, Android Oreo, Android 10, even the Android 11 is available here. So we can clone it, we can have the emulator with us, and we can test all the applications which we create. Okay, now this is about emulator. We will test our Android app here as well. We are going to create one app in this session itself, don't worry. Now, this was about Android Studio and emulator, right? Where to implement the code and where to see, right? Now, let's actually come to the topic. Now, creating an Android application. What's the first thing which you observe when you download or when you install any Android app, right? I want to have some answers as well. So let's just quickly see that what are all your responses. Okay, so what do you first observe when you install any kind of application? What do you first observe or first expect from any application? Don't worry, nothing technical, you can write anything. And obviously, so no responses yet. I hope I was not that much boring. Looks like you all are sleeping. Okay, UI, right? Appearance. Okay, I am having these now. Okay, ask for some permissions. Very nice. Good interface. Interface, yeah, smooth flow. That is also one thing which is required, right? And which is normal, and we first of all observe. Hmm, right, correct. So now there are few important things which we kind of consider and we are not even aware of that. The first thing is interface, obviously, right? Interface means what? Let's suppose you did a lot of efforts, you implemented a lot of complex codes, but when it comes to displaying your result, you are just displaying a text, or you are just making the UI as bad as possible. So what will happen? no one will use it. Like, let's take the scenario of chatting applications only. Okay, we have a ton of chatting applications available, but we use WhatsApp only, right? Or majorly, I can say, right now we are switching to all other platforms. But if we consider about mass, why are they into WhatsApp only, and why are they so much into uh, only one application sort of thing? Now, there are multiple reasons. Obviously, WhatsApp was one of the first chatting applications, so people are stick to it. That is one thing. But the second most important thing is the user interface, the user experience. Okay, the way WhatsApp displays things can be used by any person, irrespective of what their educational background is, what their professional background is, right? Now, user interface plays a very important role when it comes to Android development, right? Because at the end, users are going to use it. At the end, whatever app we are creating, users are going to use it. So how to actually align things properly, right? How to actually align the images, or maybe the text, or maybe whatever things we are using, right? We can directly display video streaming, right? But YouTube itself has some sort of alignments, and then the comment section, and there are a number of things. That is because the much good we are having our user interface, the much users will find it smooth and kind of comfortable, right? And the second thing, permission is something which I will discuss. It is now becoming one of the major concern. Now users are actually getting concerned about their privacy and the data, but still that falls into the category of persons who are actually aware of the things. There are still many people who just allow, who just deny, and they are not even aware what they are actually giving, what kind of permission they are actually giving, right? So we will discuss it in the end as well. But as of now, interface. Okay, let's focus on the creation of application. How are we going to create it? Now, layouts. And one more thing, I will add it here only, views. Now there are two terms which will be like widely being used, like you will be very much common, and you will be like using these terms very much frequently, right? Now, what are layouts and what are views? So it's like we can have multiple views in one layout. Now, what does that mean? View means nothing. Let's suppose we have to display some text, or maybe we have to display some image, or anything, maybe a button through which a person can log in. So these are the views: the button, the text view, the image view. These are the views. And layout is what? Layout is the, you can say, the parent which is holding all those views, right? There are multiple types of layout. The three most common or most important layouts we can consider are relative layout, linear layout, and constraint layout. Now again, don't bother about the names, okay? And don't bother about the theories again, like how are we going to end up with the session. Don't worry at all, right? Now let's take the example of relative layout. Relative layout is nothing but we can set the positions of our views relatively. Now, what does that mean? Relatively means, let's suppose I want to place my button, my sign in button, maybe at the bottom of screen and towards right. Okay. Now, relative layout gives us the leverage that we just have to write two lines for it, and then it will be kind of down, like just align parent bottom. We will use these terms. In fact, we will be creating our application using relative layout only. But the point which I am trying to make here is we can place the views relatively to each other, relative to the parent. That's it. Now, the linear layout. Now, linear layout is something in which we can place the views in a manner, like if we want the views vertically, we can have them vertically. If we want the views horizontally, we can have it horizontally. Like here it's text view, then text view, then button. So we can display two texts and we can have one button, and all the three views will be in this order, okay, vertically. Now, constraint layout. Now, constraint layout can be considered as the advanced version of both relative and linear layout. If we club relative and linear layout, we can have the constraint layout. Obviously the terminologies will be different here, but if in general I explain, we can use it. Like as of now here you can see we are having two text views here and then the button here. Right now, how to get these two text views here? We have to define some sort of percentage which we will be giving to this text view, and then the percentage which will be giving to this text view. Okay, so layouts are nothing but the parents where all the views will hold, and it's up to us how are we going to align them. It's up to the requirement, what requirement we are getting from the team or we are having for our application. Right now, since we had the exposure that how layouts work and why these sort of terminologies are being used, now let's come to the most important part, views. Okay, some of you might have be aware of these all terms because some of the terms are used in web as well, and there might be possibilities some of you are just coming here and you are not aware of these terms. So that is also fine because that won't matter at all at the end. Now, the text view, image view, button. Now, these three views are very important and very common, and it is clear from their name as well. Now, text view will contain all the text which we want to display, whether it's just a static text or if we are getting the text from our database or maybe any API, that will be fine. We have to just set the text to this text view. Now, the image view. Obviously, in image view, we will be having the images. What kind of images we are displaying, whether it's about profile picture, maybe it can be just any random newsfeed image, right? So what kind of image we want, we can just put it here in the image view. And same for the button. It's clear from the name only that it will be used to navigate through all the screens of the apps and the logics as well. Now, declare layouts in XML. Okay, how are we actually implementing the layouts? Let's take an example. Let's take the example of this F7 application. So if you are from 128 campus, you might have used this app as well, though this is the timetable app. There might be a possibility you might not have been using this because I'm not active on this app since a while. So now the text view, as we discussed. Now there are a number of things mentioned here. Don't worry about all the things. Just focus on some key points. Now we have declared the text view. Now obviously the text view will be having some sort of properties. Now when I clicked on this text view, can you see the sign up got highlighted? So this text view is to show sign up here. Right now, id is to uniquely identify that, okay, so this text view is message and we can maybe change it. Maybe sign up, instead of sign up we can have sign in or maybe login. That might be required. Okay, so we can access the text view using this id. Now let's talk about width and height. Okay, these two are the most important thing. Apart from this are just the extra properties which we are adding, but this will be like, without this we cannot just add any view. Right now you must have been thinking why this is so much important. It's about declaring the height and width. Android app is all about declaring the views properly, what height they should have, what width they should have, what area they will cover. Because obviously, if we are considering the design, this is the key point which we focus in web as well as Android. Now, match parent and wrap content. Match parent and wrap content is nothing, but it can be like match parent will cover the whole screen, and wrap content is like whatever height it's taking. Okay, there might be a possibility that text of sign up is big, so at that time just be flexible, right? If you want a more height, you can have it. Let me just give you a scenario here. Instead of 32, I am making the text 52. Now in that case the height dynamically increased. And for width, we are having match parent. Okay, take this width, and obviously where you will go after this screen, right? So now, similarly, there are other things as well. If you we consider about layout, can you see linear layout is used for this whole screen? and inside this we are having text view and other layouts. Like we can have multiple layouts, we can have multiple views inside one screen, and similarly these all things are happening. Okay, and again, don't get like, okay, what all codes are written over here? Don't worry at all. now now let's discuss about few things. I have although already mentioned these all while showing you the Android Studio. Now, activity. What is activity? Any guess? Any guess? Like, you can write in the chat. Just, just think like in general, what can one activity do? You can write it here. And again, don't worry about technical or maybe I am right or wrong. Just write. Okay, state of application. Anyone else? Anything a user can interact with. Nice, very good. Performing task. Okay, I will explain about this as well. Display something on screen. You guys are almost there. Okay, let's take these all terms. State of application, anything a user can interact with. This is the closest one. Performing task, something to interact with. Yeah, this one is also almost same as Aditya's answer. And display something on screen. Correct. Now I will tell you about activity. It's like we have a screen. We are setting the text. We are maybe we are going to create a login page. Okay, we need the email, we need the password, and then just tap login. Right, now we have created the view, we have created the layout, we are having all the text views, we are having the buttons, and now we have to log in. But what logic to implement there? Right, we need some logic, we need some sort of uh, verifications, like email and password verification. There we will check what to verify, how to verify, which screen to move when the user is successfully authenticated, what to do if the user is entering wrong password. We have to apply all these small logics, right? So the activity is something where our all the logics will lie for that particular screen. We can have multiple activities, right? Let's suppose if it's about login, we can have login screen activity or login activity. Now in login activity, we will attach the file, the design, the UI which we have created. And I showed you ID, right? Using that ID, we can check the email, we can check the password, and then whatever logic is required for that login button, right? This all like Ashutosh explained you about all the codes, right? If else conditions, and there were other things as well. So where to implement that? That will be implemented in activity. Now, resources. Now, resources are something important. Obviously, everything is important, but important in a way that we have created the layout files, right? We are having multiple images, we are having multiple texts, and we are having themes, we are having colors, we are having a number of things. What are these? These are the resources of the application. Okay, so it's like we are having the layout files and other things in one kind of part of the app, which is the resource, and we can use it at any point in our activity or maybe in manifest. So we can access those, we can use, we can make a use of it. Like let's talk about the image part. Okay, we have added the icon, the logo of our app, right? Now we need that logo while login, we need that logo on that maybe top right or top left, as a kind of show that okay, we are into this application. We need that logo on the app list as well, like these logos in the emulator, right? These are nothing but images, correct? So one image is being used at multiple places. Now that's possible because of the resource, right? We are having one image as the resource and we are using it at multiple steps and at multiple places. Now, Android manifest.xml, I started with a lot of explanation regarding this manifest only, right? Now, why it is important? Because without Android manifest file, okay, we can have 2 or 3 less activities, right? Instead of 4 screen, we can have 2 screen in an application. But with the instead of 5 images, we can have only 1 image for any app. But without manifest file, we cannot proceed. Because how will the phone know if this emulator is our device and we are having this maybe mail application? How will the phone know that what to do, what which app, which screen to open, whether it's a login screen or whether it's home screen, which screen to open? How many screens are there? How many activities are actually there, right? So these all things are declared in Android manifest. What's the name of application? What's the icon of application? What if the icon is not round, maybe any other icon? So these all things are declared in Android manifest. Now Gradle files. Gradle files is also like I have already discussed. Now it's just about adding the libraries, right? It's about having the versions. So whenever we install any application from Play Store, we have multiple updates of it, right? uh, Either it pops out during the use of app, or maybe we have to manually go to the Play Store and we have to update it. How Google Play Store is checking which app you are using, which version of app you are using? Any guess in answers again? Type. No comments yet. Should I repeat the question? Okay. Kind of long silence. We update the documentation of our app. So by this, Google Play Stores check. Okay, let me ask the question again. How does the Google Play Store checks that whatever app is installed in our mobile phone that's outdated? Like we have to update that. How the Play Store checks this? What does it like? What is the thing which they are most bothered about? Okay, version control. Very nice. Very nice. This is actually like the closest answer as of now. App version, right? Yep, the term version. This was what like I was also expecting from you guys. Configuration control. Yes, that's also correct. Somehow it's correct. I will tell you how. Just like get. Just like get. That's kind of almost okay. Okay. So now let's just discuss about Gradle files again. Let me show that as well. I must be having this. Yes. Now, there are multiple things written here, but let's focus about some key points what are required. Like compile SDK version, it's 30, right? Yep. So it's like we are creating this application till what version of Android it will support. And yes, till now, you might be using Android 11, but there are a total of 30 versions of Android available, right? because Nougat is having 2 or 3 versions, and sometimes it's not about launching a full-fledged new type of OS. Instead of that, we have versions of it, right? As of now, it's like Android 9, Android 10, Android 11. Earlier, when it was in kind of evolving phase, we were having multiple version of the same name, right? Jelly Bean 4, Jelly Bean 4.4, KitKat 4.4, these type of things, right? So if we club total, by total I mean till Android 11, we are having a total of 30 versions. Okay. Now, then obviously you must be wondering that why this got this much technical and this much into versions and all. The point I am trying to tell you is we are declaring that okay, this app will support till version 30, right? If I will change it and I will write it 28, it won't run in Android 10 because 28 is for Pie, Android Pie, right? This is just for information. No need to memorize this. But yeah, you got the point, right? Now, similarly, minimum SDK version, target SDK version. So these are the things which these are the default configurations which are declaring. Like minimum SDK version means okay, before maybe Jelly Bean or before KitKat, the phones having that version, this app won't run. This app is not compatible for those phones. And our target is to have the latest version, right? The Android 11 maybe, or maybe Android 10 if we use 29 here. Now, the question which I asked, like how Google Play Store checks that which app needs to be updated. This version code. Okay. Every app has its version code, and every update needs a different version code. And this is version name. As of now, it's 4.0 here, but you must have seen 1.2.3, 1.2.5. So these are the name which we can give. That's totally fine. But the version code of every update, every new update is different. And by comparing the version codes, the Google Play Store checks how are we going to update the app, whether we are going to update the app or not, and these all things. And there are other things as well. And I again will ask you not to worry about these all things. For libraries, we have discussed. Okay. Now, so a lot of discussions, a lot of technical discussions, a lot of here and there discussions, user experience, user interface. We did a lot of things, right? We talked about a lot of things. Still, we haven't implemented anything, right? Now, the theme is to create a birthday card. The very first application. Here we will learn about how to add the image, how to add the text, and how to control all the layouts. Okay. Now, we can have this happy birthday card, or we can have maybe happy new year greeting. Right now we are into new year, and not at all bad news till now, so maybe this would be a good one. We can create our own happy new year card as well. That's totally up to us. We just need to change the text, right? Now how are we going to achieve it? Okay, let's quickly see how we can actually proceed towards creating one simple application. I gave you examples, I showed you everything from this already prepared app. So there are other codes which you might not be that much comfortable with. Let's create a fresh one. And then you will realize we need not to write everything. We need not to write this whole code or maybe this whole code. No. Some things are already created. Some files are already created when we create a new application. That's the beauty of Android Studio. That's the use of Android Studio. Otherwise, we could have used a simple file .xml and we can just create everything in Notepad like we do for HTMLs and all. But no, how are we going to achieve that? Let's create a happy new year card. That will be fine. So in Android Studio, for all the newbies, and even if you guys are aware of it, just have a look. we will create a new project. That's pretty much simple, nothing to say about. Now there are options available to us, right? Which type of activity you want to create. Obviously, if we are going to create an application, at least it should be having one activity. By activity I mean one screen, I mean one layout, one source code where we will be writing all the logics and other things obviously included. So we can have empty activity, bottom navigation activity, everything is for their own use, full screen, Google Maps, fine. Let's create an empty one and we will write everything from scratch. Now we can name our application at this moment. Let's make it Happy New Year. Okay, here. Okay. Now we can choose the language, right? Ashutosh explained a lot about Kotlin, and Kotlin is very much backed by Google as well. So, yep. Now, minimum SDK. You saw in Gradle files, we had the minimum target version, right? Now that was minimum SDK. We can just declare, okay, this app will be compatible for Jelly Bean onwards. And look, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, maybe KitKat. So whatever we will pick, the app will be compatible from this version of Android. Okay, let's just create it, finish. And the whole project will be compiled. Okay, the time will vary from device to device. What I will recommend you is you should have at least 8 GB. Okay, although it can work in 4 GB as well, the Android Studio, I'm talking about Android Studio, it can work in 4 GB RAM as well, but that won't be that much smooth. That will take a lot of time. So, yep, if you are having 8 GB RAM, then it will be kind of cakewalk. Not at all cakewalk. Even in 16 GB, it sometimes gets so much complex and all, it lags. But that's the scenario which you will get after maybe 2 years of development or maybe 1.5 year of development, right? Now let's talk about the layouts. We did a lot of discussion about Kotlin, right? Now let's talk about the layouts, actually creating the apps. Yup, let's split it. And before starting with the project, before actually starting and implementing all the things, I have covered a few things till now. So if you guys are having any sort of query till now, you can ask them. Okay, so any type of query or any type of question you want to ask before starting this, you can. No comments yet. And yeah, hello Anand, hello Mitesha. No questions? Everyone is like clear? That's quite interesting. Or are you guys sleeping? Okay, just give me a kind of heads up. How many of you are actually here and listening to me and I'm not on mute? कॉलेज में एंड्रॉइड वाली कंपनीज आती हैं क्या? Okay, which layouts we are using? I will have your question as well, Sehnaz Gill. Okay, which layout we are using? Now we will be using relative layout. The reason behind this is because obviously if we are starting, we should start with something basic and something from which we can actually relate things. That's why relative layout. Okay, now for the college company thing, I will be discussing this at the end. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, hello. Harshit is a bit excited as well. Okay, so looks like you guys are here. Awesome. So for layouts, as I have already discussed, and let's just start with the app as well. As of now, by default, it's constraint layout. Constraint layout is obviously much more easier or much more comfortable when it comes to creating complex type of layouts, like in a layout where we have multiple buttons, maybe menu, maybe multiple text for every other things, maybe list views. There are a number of views. Obviously, if we want to display something, and that's kind of recurring, like the chats we have in WhatsApp and other things, so there we use list views or maybe recycler views, right? So constant layout is very comfortable at that particular moment. But if we are starting, like if we are going to create a basic activity, we will go with relative layout or maybe linear layout. That depends on scenarios. As of now, let's just come back here. Let's suppose here we will be having happy new year, and here our name maybe from Rohan, from DSC, anything, and this image. Now if we are using relative layout, even if we are not using any kind of layout, we are not aware of what kind of layout we are going to use, what you will say, let's suppose it's text 1, it's text 2, it's image 1. Okay, now just what, give me the procedure, what kind of procedure you will follow, how you are going to add it. Just like give a kind of general answer that what we are actually going to do when it comes to adding two text and one image, right? I'm talking specifically about the positions. Write it, don't worry, write it. Hmm. No. Okay, no answers yet. Looks like I'm bidding kind of, right? No answers one, no answers two, no answers three. Okay, no worries. Okay, so let's come back to application and I'll tell you about the logic as well as the way we will be going to implement this. Okay, now instead of constant layout, let's have relative layout first. Relative layout. Hmm? Now look, by default, the text is here. Okay, these are the properties for constant layout. Let's do not bother about this. Let's remove these only because these are some meaningful things which we can use. Now, our requirement is to add two text, correct? Okay, so I have got answers as well. Add the image in between of the two text fields. That's right. That's good. Image, then both the text. This is like a kind of, I think Bhavya Agarwal is aware of relative layout. We will add, we will first add image and then add text, one at the top. Very nice, Amisha. Or maybe have the text field over the image. Right, top image, middle text, bottom image like. Okay, let's implement it. So these two answers are actually, how did you enable that split view? I will tell you. Okay, these two answers are almost correct. Now, how I enabled this split view, this is the button over here. We can have only code, we can have code and design, or we can have only design. We can directly pick things from design as well, like let's just drop it here and it will be added here, right? Let's just do like this and this, so we can actually do it. As of relative layout, it's just sticking here, but if we use any linear layout, then there might be possibility that first the text then the button. So this is fine, like we can directly drag and drop, but obviously that won't be that much precise, I can say. But yeah, this is the most comfortable option. Look, I dragged the button from the menu and I am having the button here as well, right? That's the point. Okay, let's first of all change the text to happy new year. Happy new year. As of now, the very first thing which you will be thinking in your mind is the text is very small. All right, let's make it big first. How to make it big? Simple. We need text size, right? So let's go with the logic. What kind of property we need? Size. Size. We are having multiple size, and it's clear that we need text size. Let's pick it. Now, what's the size? Let's try 30 SP. Okay, SP is like the unit of pixel which we are going to use for text. For image view, we use DP. Okay, we can use DP as well, but yeah, it's just about the terminologies, right? And they are having some different values for it. Now, as I made it 30, it's now bigger, right? So maybe 30 is fine, or even 40 is also fine. That's totally up to us. Now, by default, relative layout, like whatever field we will add, whatever view we will add, that will be on top left. Okay. Now, if we maybe we want to make this text in center. Okay. Now that will be what? Center horizontal, right? So I will say let's type something horizontal and let's see what all things are happening. Okay. Layout margin horizontal, layout center horizontal. There are a number of things, but this center horizontal, something we can relate to make it on center. Let's pick it. Let's make it true, true, false. That's simple Boolean, right? Yes, I made it true. It's on center. That's it. The work is done. Now, the same with maybe the last text. Let's add the text as well. Okay. I'll be just copying this. That is also fine. Or if you want, you can write the whole text. That is also fine. Now, when I copied it, so all the properties are same. So it's like both are colliding. Now, let's do what? Center horizontal is still fine. We can have it here. And let's make the text on bottom, right? Now, it's clear from our logic. We need to make it bottom. Let's type bottom. Layout margin bottom, layout align bottom, align parent bottom. These all things are there. Let's look into this. Layout align parent bottom. I know, like we all know, this parent is relative layout. And we want to be at the bottom of this relative layout. Let's pick it and make it true. What happened? Look, we are at the bottom. Maybe we don't want this much big text. We want smaller text. Let's make it 20 sp. Or 20 sp might not be visible to you all. So let's make it 30 sp. Right, now we are having the text here. We want some padding. The text is not looking very good at exact bottom. Let's do the padding. Padding means we can just add extra spaces. Let's suppose 12 dp. Now the text is at a bit up, right? So I am doing nothing. I am not concerned about what kind of XML coding is required. I am not concerned about what kind of these heavy terms are required. I am just considering about my logic, right? I'm just bothered about my logic. Where to put this? Where to put this? What kind of padding I want here? What kind of padding I want here? Here, no padding is done. We can have it, right? Instead of Happy New Year, let's make it from DSC. From DSC, what is JIIT-128, right? So we are ready with the text. Let's change the color of text as well. We will just write simple color, text color. Text color what? White, black. Let's try black. It was kind of gray. Now it's black, right? We want any other color. We can have that as well. Let's see. Color primary we must be having maybe design default. These are some default color. It's white, so obviously white we cannot use. Let's keep it black. Now here, can you see we have this much colors already available, right? These are by default. These are the colors which you can observe throughout all the application. Like, where are we going to see this? When we will create the app, at that moment the top toolbar there also. So these colors can be controlled. We can have multiple colors here as well. Like we are having one teal 700. Let's use this. I'm writing teal 700. That's it. Now that's something we can see, right? Now that's about setting up the text. Now tell me if you have any queries related to setting up the text properly. Looks like I get comments in kind of bunches, right? Right. Like any kind of query you have related to text, any kind of uh, thing thought roaming around in your mind, you can just write no. Okay, straightforward no. Okay, we can start then. Okay. Now we have added the text. Let's add the image. Now here I will pick the point of Bhavya and Amisha. Why? Because this might be possible that they just have randomly wrote this, or this might be possible they are aware of it. Image, then both the text. We will first add image. Why we will first add image? That's one thing. Now this is the kind of one property of relative layout, or maybe one thing of relative layout. That's it. Like we can have things or views overlapping. We can have image, and then if we are adding the text views with overlap with that particular image, right? I will show you how. Image view. Let's take the image view. Width match parent, height match parent. We want the text. We want the image on the whole screen. Now we want to add that particular image. Now when we have created this Android application through Android Studio is not aware of which image will be used, right? And we want this particular image, right? We will use this particular image. Now Android Studio is not aware of it, and obviously how will the Android Studio add the image directly? Just by going into our mind and just getting the image. So for that we need the image. This whole story was for getting that image only. Okay, fine. I'm a bit bad at pages as well. Okay, so I have already downloaded this image here. You can download, you can have any other image, you can have anything. That's totally up to you. Just make sure the image should be in PNG, although it's not required, but PNG images are of a bit good qualities and the compatibility is a bit good. Okay, let's just copy this image and let's just paste this image where. Now this res means resources. Okay, now we discussed about resources means where there we can have layouts, we can have strings and other things. Look, we are having this layout, values. In values we are having themes, strings, colors, mipmap will be having the icons, right? The icons with different sizes. Look, this the different pixel qualities for different mobile phones. Now the drawable. Let's suppose we are not having all the images, right? And this is for precise things like icons and all. But if we are having one image only and we are going to add that to our app, I have just copied this image. If you guys have remembered, okay, let me go back again. I have just copied this and I will paste it here, in the drawable. Okay, in resources, drawable. Let's paste it. And these are the version like v24, the pixel quality things are here, but we are having only one image. We can choose either drawable or drawable 24. That's totally fine. Android party, if we want to change the name, instead of Android party, let's make it Android, what was it, jam, Android jam, study jam, or Android jam, fine. So now we are having this image here. Now how to use this image and how to basically attach this image to that image view, right? So for that, what we will do, we will write src. Now, if any web development guys here, they might be aware of this src. Src is like uh, we call it source maybe, but this term is specifically used to add the images. Like it's like the source from where we are actually getting that particular file. The file is what? The file is Android study jam, right? First of all, drawable. Okay, Android jam. Hmm. So it's not directly added here. There's a reason behind that as well. We have to build the project. Okay, we haven't built the project yet. So for that, we have to do nothing. We have to just build the project. It's like we have added the images, but we have done a lot of things till here. And we need to compile all the things, right? Without compiling, how does the Android Studio will actually get that what kind of files are added, what kind of things are going on? Because we haven't saved or we haven't done anything. So instead of saving here, we usually have build. Okay, it's automatically gets saved, but saving is something which won't be in your mind when you will be developing any app. Okay, so now I guess I will be having this Android jam. Look, I am having this drawable Android jam. Let's select this. Look what happened. I got the image here. Now the image pixels are different, right? There might be possibility that the image you are adding is full screen image, or maybe the ratio is different. That is like that's the common thing which happens with everyone. Now how are we going to tackle that? It's not like we have to manually set the resolutions and all. No, nothing. We have to just say scale type. Scale type. Now scale means what? We want to scale this image on this screen. Now scale type. Center crop, there are n number of things. Center crop, center, fit xy, center inside. Let's try center crop. It's like be in the center of screen, okay, and crop it, like just make it in a ratio so that it can cover all the screen. And if you want to crop, like if it's not possible, obviously we are having this kind of rectangular screen and this image was square, so it's just kind of zoomed and it's just kind of cropped. Now the color is almost same, that's why we got this type of color here. Let's change the color as well. Let's make it white. White was much more good. White. Look, done. Was it a rocket science? Right? No. Now let me just quickly give you few more things about it. Okay, like just to make the things much more eye catchy, and that's it. One simple thing: styling of the text. Now what kind of text we want? For that we use style. Text style, italic, bold, normal. We can directly use these all terminologies. Maybe if we want to add padding for this as well, we can have the padding. Padding maybe 12 dp. 12 dp means this, right? Okay. I have got a question as well. Yep, I will be coming to the question. First of all, let me wrap it. Now, the main activity.kt, this is the Kotlin file. As of now, in this particular app, we need not to write any logic. It's just like we will open this app and yep, the birthday card, the Happy New Year card, right? If we have to implement some logic, the logic can be what? I will tell you about the logic as well. The simple thing which you can implement here, you can have the kind of experiment in this. We can check the date from the mobile device only. Okay. And based on what the date is, what's the nearest thing is, we can manually set. Like if it's nearest to the date of Holi, we can say Happy Holi. Or maybe Christmas, we can say Merry Christmas. Right? These all things we can do. Now the last part of this project, we have created the project, we have the screen, we have talked a lot about all the logics and all the resources specifically, I can say. Now where to run it and how to run it. To run the app, we simply need to click on this. If we are having the emulator already installed, I am having like 2 emulators installed in this device, so we can either pick from it if I am having already installed, or we can go to AVD manager and we can create a new virtual device. Let me show you. I won't be creating it, but let me show you. Like we can select from all the devices which are available, and if we are selecting, let's suppose Pixel XL. Now next, now whatever version of Android is available, right, we can pick it. Like as of now, Nougat and R is installed on my device, and apart from that, even if we want any image, we can have it. Okay, these are some latest kind of versions of Android. Once we select it, we have to download it. They are usually of 1 or 2 GB each, and after compiling and all, setting up, installing and all, it becomes of around 8 to 9 GB. So I will recommend emulators to only them who are having a good kind of space in their local disk C. And the ram is much more important. Obviously it's like we are having one device running in this device only, so it's having 3 GB of RAM and other stuff. That's big. Okay, now let's come to the easy part. Just simply click on this run, and this app will get installed to this emulator. Okay, now it will take a bit of moment because it's installing for the very first time. So now all the things will go around in this Gradle build running only. The manifest file, the it will be detecting everything. It will be detecting from the Gradle scripts and all. And I think it's already installed. Look, Happy New Year, right? From DSC JIIT-128. Okay, so yep, that was it. Right, it's not rocket science. It's not like we have to do any bigger kind of stuffs. Instead, we have to just focus on the things, like the basic things. If it's about bottom, we just type bottom. If it's about size, we just type size. And Android Studio itself gives us the privilege to implement all the things. Okay, now I will come to questions. By the time you can write your questions as well. So the first question is of Bhavya, that what's the difference between match parent and wrap content? Okay, let's discuss this again. Match parent is like we have a screen. If this is the scene here, we have a screen, and if I am declaring match parent to this text, it will cover the whole area from here to here by default. Okay, if I am asking wrap content, that means only this area is covered by this text view. Okay, same for image. For image we did match parent, right? That's why this image is in the whole kind of screen, right? As well as the property which we use to scale it, right? But if we talk about these texts, these are wrap content only. Whatever height they want, they can have it. Whatever width they want, they can have it. Okay, I hope this is clear to you, Bhavya. And any other questions, guys? No, no questions yet. In the colors.xml file, we just had few color options. Okay, how do we add more colors like in the other apps color file you showed earlier? Okay, good, good one. Now, let's add a color. We need to add one more color. I'm going here. I'm writing color. I'm writing name. And mostly we get it. Now this name, this white, black, teal, and purple, this can be given by us. Okay, it can be like logo color, logo underscore color. Make sure it's one word only. It's like variables. Logo color. Okay, now I will close this. This is the way we do in XML. Usually we do not write this code again and again. Instead, we just copy it from the above and we paste it and we change the name. Now this is the hex code of the color. Okay, it's like we can have different colors here. It's like, let's suppose hashtag and try FFFF and then 0000. Look, I got red color, right? So we can have either 8 digits, that's for like, that's including the opacity as well. Okay, but for general things we can have only 6 digits. For 6 digits it's like we will be having that color, okay, and nothing else. But if we are using ff, maybe 00, maybe f0, or these combinations are there, so we can have the opacity, how much percentage the color will be visible on the screen, maybe 50% visible only, and then that's the transparency, I can say. Okay, yep, so I hope the question is clear to you, Harshit. And Apurva, sir, please tell the difference between Flutter, Android, and React Native. Yep, that's very good question. And it's like these are all the kind of tools we can use to develop Android applications. Okay, using Flutter, using Android Studio, using React Native. Now, it depends on us. It depends on the requirements, right? If we are learning anything from a scratch, or maybe this differs from functionalities to functionalities. Let's suppose I have got the option, or I have got the requirement from the team that we need an Android application that will be very simple. Now, if it's simple, we can have anything. We can make it through Flutter. We can make it by simple. I mean, we just need some views. We just need to show some messages. That's it. But let's talk about the complexities. Complexities arises when we are dealing with the camera, when we are dealing with the maybe GPS functionality. Right now, these are some things which needs a lot of permissions, which needs a lot of complex things, like as of now in VR and in AR, majorly AR are being widely accepted on Android platforms as well. Now at that particular time we need some to tweak some things, right? We it's not like just we have some libraries and we implemented that. For that we need the core concepts. Obviously we can create anything if we are aware of the core concepts, right? So that's kind of privilege we have in Android, and the things are much more lighter, whether it's about Kotlin or Java. In fact, Kotlin is a lot more lighter than Java now. So that's totally up to us, right? We can have anything. As of now, you won't feel any issue, but when you will be like into industry and when you will be facing actually real-time problems, complex problems, at that particular time, you will have to choose between all the platforms, but the concept will be same. The wrap content and match parent will be same. Okay. Now, Abhinav Modi, what's package name when we create new file? Okay, so package name is like if you download any app from Play Store, or if you have any link of app, so they have something com dot uh, anything like that, depends, like com dot doctor dot mfine, or maybe com dot fb dot anything. Like, I'm not aware of their package names. The point I'm trying to make here is package name is nothing but the unique identification of your app on the web or the on the Play Store. Every app is having their own different package names. Yeah, we can offline create any clone of it, like we can use the same package name as and Facebook or something is having, but if we are publishing that app on Play Store, that has to be unique. Got it? So that's the point of package name. I hope that's clear for you. How to install emulator in Android, right? I showed you the AVD manager. Let me show it again. Okay, I think I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah, I will be going here. I will be going to AVD manager. I have to create a new virtual device, and that's it. Right. This is emulator, like virtual devices we call it. Okay, virtual devices or terms like emulator, these are common for it. It's just like we are having one mobile phone inside our laptop, so that we can test everything without the juggling between all the wires and all. That's it. Okay. Any more questions? One question was there from, I think, the placement scene, something someone was asking, but looks like no. Okay. The company thing, I remember that question. Okay. The company thing. कॉलेज में 100 वाली कंपनीज आती हैं क्या? यस, ठीक है. Look, it's not about companies. Okay, it's not about we won't get placed if we are not having any kind of company in college or something like that. Okay, we have companies. It's not like that hike आती थी, and आती थी मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि कोरोना सिचुएशन इज लाइक unpredictable, so I'm not sure whether they'll come this year or not. Apart from that, there were few companies like Yellow Messenger. They are very much into creating APIs, video calling APIs and all. So these all things. So these type, so I am having Ashutosh with me as well here. So these type of companies are there, but if you are skilled, it's not about the companies. It's just about if you are aware of the things, you will find the position. So positions are actually scene ये है कि positions ज़्यादा हैं, लोग कम हैं. ठीक है. I am so much into like taking interviews as well. So उस टाइम पे ये realize हुआ कि पहले लगता था कि यार companies नहीं है, positions नहीं है, बंदे बहुत सारे हैं. जब अगर if you will see or if you will have the responsibility to hire or something like that, so at that moment you will realize, okay, we have to pick up someone who is skilled. Okay, irrespective of what the educational background is. अगर मुझे कोई कॉमर्स वाला बंदा आकर के बोले कि सर मैं बहुत सही iOS डेवलपमेंट कर रहा हूँ, मेरे इतने सारे अच्छे अच्छे ऐप्स हैं, तो मैं ये नहीं देखूंगा कि भाई वो कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड से, मैं ये देखूंगा अच्छा तुम ऐप्स बना सकते हो, iOS में बना सकते हो, ये तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, तो बहुत कम मिलते हैं, चलो आ जाओ बनाओ. So it's about the projects. If we are looking for first internship, if we are looking for first kind of opportunity, it's about projects. Once you are done with your first sort of internship, first sort of experience, then it's about both projects and you can say experience, both project and experience, right? Any other question related to Android? You can have these type of questions because I know like when I started with it, I was also filled with so much of questions and all, and like I was okay, मैं करूँ ना करूँ, इसमें profit होने वाला है नहीं होने वाला है, summer training बर्बाद ना हो जाए. So I had these questions in my mind as well. So don't worry at all, and I'll try to solve as much as possible. So अगर conclude करूँ इस question को, तो company मिल जाएगी, तुम बस Android अच्छा कर लो. ठीक है. Okay. So now you can ask questions to both of us, Ashutosh and me.
Guys, ask question fast because we have to conclude our session. It's already 7. So,
Yeah.
yeah, fast. Yeah, it looks like we don't have any questions. So, we are about to conclude our session. So, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, stay tuned for the second session where we are building an app, dice roller app, and yeah, thank you everyone. Like, subscribe our channel, and you can also share with share your learning with hashtag Android Study Jam. And thank you everyone. We are ending our session now. Bye.
Thanks
Bye. So.
everyone. Bye. Bye, Ashutosh.